Okay, let's see. Can I hear myself now? Load, please. Please. I have no clue how behind this is gonna be, but I don't hear anything on here. Why didn't I check? Oh, I can. Okay, on the stream I can hear myself. Do I sound good? I sound okay. Relatively okay. Here, let's do some mute. Oh my frick. I don't know what just happened. Okay. Anywho, hello. For if anyone actually joins this live, hello. Because most of the people just watch my streams after they're not live. It is President's Day. Happy President's Day, everyone. But we're not here to celebrate the current president. Actually, wait. Let me rephrase that. That's already controversial. Great. Starting off this video with my political views. It's me, Keeks. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a live stream. I have no clue how long it's been since I've done a live stream. I just know I think it's been a while. Like, a long time. So, if you didn't read the title, today we are doing a hypothetical. So a map to an election that is probably impossible. On account that Trump probably won't even make it past 2020. I'm just kidding. um. Anyways, this will be like a hypothetical map to find out who would win if there was an amendment that was made and passed that allowed for third terms with both parties, because I know there was one that was just like non-consecutive presidents that the Republicans are trying to pass, which is kind of dumb. But we're saying hypothetically somebody could pass a thing here and it'd be both sides, no matter what, could do a third term. Obama versus Trump. Now, this video is definitely very obviously going to have biases in it. My biases. Towards who might win, but I do think that this election would be really close. All right, so over here, I have a map 270 to win, if you know that website. I'm using this. We're going to do this, and then a mix of like a bit of research while I talk out my thought of what will happen. So I think we should just get started. So this would be, so it'd be Democrats versus Republicans. Barack Obama versus Donald Trump. Those guys. Now, I think here, so I'm trying to think where I should start. Let's start with like the states that I feel like will safely be won by a president or by each candidate. So California, let's start with Democrats. California, Oregon, Washington, they will all, I think, certainly be won by Obama. Absolutely, no questions asked. Same with Hawaii, which is actually Obama's birth state, if you didn't know. But he's from Chicago, Illinois. Right here. That will also go to him. I think New York, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, DC, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, will safely, all of these right here will safely go to Barack Obama. All right, so these are safe, like completely good holdouts, I think, for him. So now let's go to Republicans. Which states? Oh shoot, wait. Actually, I think Colorado can be a safe one. I think I'd consider that safe. Now these are the ones that Republicans will absolutely win. So Idaho, Wyoming, North South Dakota, Nebraska, District 2. Shoot, I don't know how to do that. All right, Oklahoma, Kansas, Utah, Wyoming. I think is actually the most like red leaning state in the country. So these ones, we'll skip Florida. I don't think that will be a hard red. All right, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, and yeah, I think these will be all the states that will be safely won by each candidate. Oh, probably Alaska too. Actually, I don't know. I do think it will be won by Republicans. Okay, so now I think we should go to so this is the 2024 election. This is how the results panned out, right? In Trump's favor, all of this. Every single swing state was lost by the Democrats, which is crazy. So let's go to I want to take a look at both of Obama's elections really quickly. So look right here. He won Indiana, and sorry, Iowa, which are states that are shocking. Like shocking, like people might not think you'd win that, I feel like. And let's go to 2012. He loses Georgia, but he wins Florida, and I think he won one of those, I can't remember. Now, Iowa typically voted blue in both elections. Florida voted blue in 2012 and 2008, which is shocking. Well, shocking considering Florida's history now, which, people might not think that that would happen. Also, both elections, West Virginia was red because that's been a safe Republican state for a while. So one thing I really want to take a look at right now is I want to look at Bill Clinton's elections. Those are something that really interests me because he's like the last Democratic president to break free of the red wall. He like broke it and he won all these states: Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, which are states that definitely are not won anymore by them. Sorry, here, let's go to 1996. See, he won some of those again. I think he win with more or less this time. He won with one less, I think. Is that it? No, he got nine more actually. I think he lost Georgia but got Florida, something like that. Excuse me. Um. So yeah, and then Al Gore, that was an election. All right, so back to Obama. I think here, let's here. So how I want to do this? Let's go back to our map, right? Um, and let's do our likely states. Our states that are very likely to be blue, right? States that we do think will be won by the Democrats and Republicans. Sorry, I was just taking a look at that. And we're going to use those bases. Of course, I'm using Wikipedia for that. We're using those bases to try and predict an election here. So, wait, actually, I want to make, I think New Mexico, maybe New Mexico is probably a likely. I do think New Mexico will definitely go to Obama in this election. New Mexico is pretty blue. Um, New Mexico will be blue. I think it's pretty likely that Minnesota will be blue. Bleh. Ah, okay. I think that will be sorry, Maine's for Maine whatever will be blue. I think is it the first district? Yeah, I think it's Nebraska's first district will most likely be blue. Uh, Virginia is a hard case whether it will most likely be blue. I think it leans. Uh, I think New Hampshire is likely blue for the Democrats here. Now let's go likely red. For the states that will be likely red, I know Bill Clinton won Montana, I think in 1992. I don't think he won it in the 1996 election. I could be wrong there, but I don't think that the Democrats will have a chance. I think it's one of the blue-ish states. It's not very blue, but in this specific area. But there's no chance in ever, I think, that it'll go like back to Democrats easily for a long, long time. So yeah, that one's gonna be red. Ohio, I think that'll be a pretty likely red. Ohio used to be a pretty important and significant swing state, but now it's more of just like it's a pretty safe Republican haven, I'd say. Texas will be very likely, I think. I don't think just an election with Obama would ever flip Texas. Like, okay, so I think Trump won. Trump won both Florida and Texas with double-digit Republican numbers. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong there, but I think even though the Democrats have been making pretty significant gains in Texas, I also think that like the Republicans gain with like more colored voters will hold that back, and I think it will be really likely that Texas will be won by the Republican Party here. So, other like likelies, I think, I don't know. I think Florida, because a funny thing, Obama won both. Obama, I think, didn't he win Florida in both of his? He won Florida in 2008 and in 2012. So that's just an interesting thought, I feel like. I think was it close? Oh shoot, yeah, that's quite close. That's like a percentage point, but it's more of like 100,000 vote difference. Let's go back to 2008. Yeah, it wasn't very close here. Well, I mean, votes kind of 200,000, but that's a lot more than you'd really think it was. Um so I don't think, frankly, that there was okay, sorry, back to this. Gosh, I cannot think right now. I think that it will be Aleen's. So these, I think this is a pretty not controversial map so far. Oh wait, sorry, Alaska likely red. Sorry, Alaska's likely red. I think this is a pretty not super controversial map so far. I think most people will agree with this because I definitely don't think Ohio will flip. All right, let's go to leans now. What I think leans blue. So here safe. Here, let me do a definition on what they mean. Safe means maps, or sorry, safe means that a state will definitely win it. There's no chance unless that political party messes up so bad that it will go to the other political party. California, for example, is so far blue that I don't think there's a chance in living like heaven or whatever that it will flip red for a long time. I think the last time it flipped red was Reagan. Yeah, and then another safe, like I don't think Wyoming will like ever flip Republican. Maybe not even in like my lifetime, honestly. It's so like Republican held, I think. I don't know. Oh, another good example of like, because I think DC in every single election they've been able to have counts electoral votes counted in. They have voted consistently blue every time. I think in the 2024 election it was 60 like 7% or something and Democrats favor. So I don't think that will probably change for a really long time. Likely means that it will it you could most prediction polls will say that it will go to there. I think that's a pretty safe. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I think Virginia will be likely. I don't think that it will lean at all. I think it'll be close. It'll be like maybe like 4 points, maybe. I don't know. Sorry, because again, Obama is like such a strong candidate, so likely means that uh a candidate will most likely win that state that they are predicted to win in the real election. Oh, okay, yeah. I think that's 4 points. He won with 8, I think, in that election. So it's not going to be, and this one it's a lot. 5 points actually. Obama won by 10 or sorry, Biden won 10 points, and then it goes back down to 5. So I think 2028 will be a pretty landslide election. That's why I think. Oh, my Alexa thought I said its name. I think it'll be. That's why I think it'll be pretty likely. If anything, Minnesota probably is more leans than here. So it's still 4%. Oh, that's such a pretty flag. I love Minnesota's flag right there. It's still pretty like leans if you kind of think about it. But like, look, that's 7 points. Well, no, sorry, it's more likely. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it was really close in 2016. That's 2 points. This one it was like 8. I can't do math right now. And then this one it was 11 points. So I don't think like it kind of widened in 2020 again, and it did like it did a decent job at like staying pretty far ahead. Like 4 points. That's it's probably will be something similar to that if Obama ran in 2028. I do not frankly think that that would change at all. So that's why I think Minnesota and Virginia would both be pretty likely. Because I think if it's like 3 or 4 points, that's pretty likely like of a win. And then if it's more than that, it'll be safe. And then leans is probably like 2 points or 1 points, and I think tilt is like less than one. So leans means that it could flip, but it probably won't. Like it probably won't flip, but but there's still like a tiny possible chance. And then tilt is like almost swing state, but they have like a point something advantage of winning that state, one party. And then toss up means it's genuinely just no clue who might win it. Like it's completely it could be again, it's a toss up for either candidate. So, we go back here to um ugh, Oh my gosh. So we go back here to this election. Let's take a look at him. Oh, sorry, Kamala. Ooh. So we take a look here, 6 points. Even though like this election again is pretty safe, was pretty good in Trump's favor. This state was really safe for Kamala. I think 5 or 6 points. Let's go to 2020. I think it was more. Yeah. Oh wow, that's like 11 points. I think New Mexico was one of the few states to have all their representatives be blue. I think it was them in like Massachusetts, maybe a couple more in the like North New England part. I could be wrong though. Sorry. This one it was, oh my gosh, Gary Johnson won 9 points and still 8 points in Harris's favor, or Hillary's flavor. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Uh and then we go back to Obama winning 10 points, a whole 10 points in 2012, and then 2008 that is like 15 points. So I think you could maybe even call this one safe because you go to 2024 and it's still a good 6 points. So I don't think that's why I don't think the main like lean states, the main likely states here are probably for the Democrats are probably to stay likely for this election, and honestly probably even go up in Obama's favor. Because again, Obama is a candidate who got people, specifically Obama only voters, to go out from. He just has that sort of charisma and like the thing about him to where he would get like never before voters to vote for him. Trump has kind of a similar thing where like people will specifically only go out to vote for Trump. People will specifically only go out to vote for him, the Republicans. And then same thing with Obama. So this is in a unique election in that both candidates just have a sort of like thing about them where people will specifically be willing to do whatever they would be told to do. That's why MAGA is such a strong thing. Maybe not as much now that Trump's in office, but it was such a strong coalition that's why I think Trump ended up actually winning this election, because it was such a strong together coalition that even if it felt like a minority, like I felt like it was a minority, to be honest, MAGA, I didn't think it was going to be as widespread as what turned out to be when the election results came, and he won. So Obama did something similar with his like change campaign. Obviously it's not MAGA, like Make America Great Again. People weren't willing to riot the Capitol to overturn an election. Did I mention this is an opinion-based video? I still think that these three states, Minnesota, New Mexico, and Virginia, will probably be like maybe 5 or 4 points, maybe 6 points, 4 points or more. And then again, these ones right here, all the blue, dark blue, will be good. Now, to talk about likely for the Republicans, we have a couple states like this themselves. So, Florida over here. It's an interesting story for Florida. So if you go to this map right here, it was not even particularly close in this election. I saw like AP and some other like sources were calling this like a key race. I didn't understand that because I didn't think it was even close. And as you can see here, the final result was 14-point lead for Trump, which is, I guess, like 1,700,000. I can't do math. So it was absolutely nowhere close. And I have a hunch that Florida will continue going in that direction. But I think it will be stagnated if Trump were to go against Obama. I think that progress would be stagnated. I still think, hear me out, I still think that Florida would be a safe likely. Or, yeah, maybe a safe likely, maybe just barely a lean. For the Republicans. Probably like in between a likely and a leans, because I do not think that there's a chance again ever that the Democrats could bring back Florida, because it's just too far gone after 2016 when it swung in that shocking like surprise, because there are like a billion swing states in that election, and I think that kind of determined where all these states might go in their future. So if we go back to 2020, it was a 4-point gap. So Kamala lost a lot between them. I don't know, is it something, I guess, just about Kamala specifically that people in Florida did not like, which is fascinating to me personally. I think Obama could kind of shift that back. I don't think, here, 13.1 points. I don't think that it's at all possible that Obama could ever shift something like that back into his favor, because he won again. He won Florida by both in both of his elections. I don't think he could ever like get that state back, but I think he could lower the gap. Probably less than it'd be closer than Biden, which is why you could probably consider it a lean state, because it's 4 points right here, and then if we go back to Hillary Clinton, Trump, or it was 2 point. It was a 2 point gap between them in 2020. It was I guess 1.20. This says right here, by a margin of 1.20. So hypothetically, Clinton could have really won this state if you. I mean, there was always a chance. I'm pretty sure this was considered a swing state, right? In 2020. Probably. I'm too lazy to think. Fifth closest state result. Really? That's fascinating. Yeah. So I'm gonna assume since it was one of the closest, it would be a swing state, correct? So, 2 points here. It's probably just going to keep widening, but I think Obama will stagnate that widen. So we go back to Mitt Romney. It is a point difference here for Obama, and I think just the further you go back, the bluer Florida gets. Yeah, it's 2 points here, except for this election, except for the Bush thing. But if you go back, wait, oh well, actually, this election, look at that. Look at that close. You had to go into the thousands, I think that is, to see how close it was, which is so crazy. Cause like this election, holy crap! I think, like again, everybody knows that 2000 election was decided by Florida, and people still argue over that today, which is just it's crazy. You go back here, Al Gore easily wins this. Of course, Ross Perot kind of did the thing to get people to. Ross Perot was the guy. He's fun. So it was still a good 6 points, even with like a major third party candidate in it. And we go back to 1992. Again, Ross Perot, 19 points here. But actually, H.W. Bush won Florida. I did not expect that. But like that, this is like. Florida has such an interesting history. I think it's what we call a bellwether state. I think is that how you refer to it? Bellwether. Does it say something about that? Yeah, it's a bellwether state. So, but it shifted significantly to the right. Like, look at how like red these counties were compared to like the election of like 1996. If you saw that, it was close. It was so much closer than it is now, and I think that is going to be a trend that we will consistently see in the future after this. All right, so back to our 270 here to win our map. It's currently 226, which actually, wait, these are the 226. These are all the states that Kamala won. And we are still at likely and with one leans. So if I were to remove this lean, put it back to toss-up. 183 to Republicans. These are all the states that will confidently, I think, be won. Because leans is still pretty confident, but less so. So these will all the states that will pretty much definitely be won by said party in this election. All right, and then we do leans. The first leans will be Florida, because again, I think Florida will be pretty easily won by Republicans, if not still a closer margin. Like again, it's just a hiccup for them. 226, which is exactly what Kamala got in her election in 2024, and then versus 213 for the Republicans, which is kind of shocking to me, I guess. Now let's go to our leans. Let's focus on our leans. The state that I want to focus on the most here that'll be a lean, because I've pretty much done every state here except for one state that wasn't a swing state in the last election. Iowa. Oh shoot. Ooh, Iowa. Oh my gosh, I can't do anything. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Sorry, safe. Was it a safe? I can't remember. I think it was. Yeah. All right, now let's do likely blue. Was it likely blue? I think it was. Okay. All right, so I do think that this will be likely. I do think Iowa, despite Obama again winning it in both of his elections, I do think it will lean red. Now, again, going back to the like charisma thing that I was talking about earlier, Iowa is just one of those states that I think. Well, I think Iowa probably is following a similar fate as Florida did. I think because I mean, again, it was won by Obama both times and his election, which is the exact same thing that happened with Florida right here. See, both won. Go to 2012, both won, and then you go to 2016 and it's all thrown off balance when literally both states won by Trump. Trump has like come in and he's like just thrown politics all up on the side. He's changed the way political parties I feel like work so much. And look, it was a 10-point gap here. A 10-point gap. 9.41 percent gap between Trump and Clinton. And how close was it here? That was a whole 5 points. Like the fact that it could just flip like that. I just want to see what happened in 2020. How Trump won it by 9 points. I think we're probably seeing what's happening in Iowa at a grand. So what is happening in Florida right now is probably the same thing happening in Iowa, just at a more grander stage, like more drastic. 7 points here. Nine. Wait. How did Kamala make gain more? Wait, did she? I can't do math. No, she didn't. Sorry, I did math wrong. That was more than 10. That was 13. So it's just so much more drastic of a win of a change here than it is in Florida. Florida's more closer, even though it swings to the right. I don't understand. Towards the GOP column, the same trend as neighboring Missouri starting in 2008. Iowa had voted 6 of the 7 elections prior to Democratic in 6 of the 7, with the difference being George W. Bush. Can you believe that? Like, it used to be so far blue, or like pretty safely blue, I think, and now it's just completely changed. Like, Obama just won it safely. That's like 4 points. And then Trump just comes in. He throws everything on its side. Like, it's shocking. I cannot believe how just one person can completely upthrow politics like this. It's fascinating, and something. I mean, I don't think you can really say the same thing happened when Obama came in, but this would be such a fascinating election, right? Oh my gosh, wait, how close was it here between John Kerry? Oh wow, yeah, that's less than a point, so that'd be like a lean, I think. Holy crap! So they Bush barely won it. That was why it was like an exception there. Um, and then yeah, Gore won it. Then it was very close, I guess, even closer than in the other election, 4,000 points. But then here, Bill Clinton absolutely destroys Dole. And then here it's even. I think it's more like, look at how light blue this is, and then we go back to sorry, if we go back to 2024. Look at how red each of these counties are now. It's nowhere close to when it was before. And I think that's just a trend that we're going to see with a lot of these states, because a lot of states that were formerly blue are now starting to swing red, and a lot of states, the important states that were formerly red, are starting to kind of swing blue. Texas being the most important thing here. If Texas does turn blue one day, all these states that are now starting to swing red will really have to make up and cut the slack that for Texas becoming Democratic, which is, it's very interesting to think that in the near future, potentially, we can have a map where both California and Texas are red, and Florida, or sorry, are both blue, and Florida and like all these other states will be super like dark red and stuff like that. So now our leans, we don't really have. So these are our two like leans, I think, for the Republican Party. I don't. Okay, so here's what I think, because I do want to say there is one lean I think I have for the Democratic Party, and this may be kind of a particularly not super agreed upon opinion here, but I think that I think Nevada, sorry, I got slack for that one time in comments for pronouncing it like that. I think even though it's a 3 point here, I think that this will swing blue. I think it will be leans blue. I don't think it'll be tilt or anything. I think it will genuinely go blue. Because again, look at this 3 points, and then it's 3 points here. It's 3 points here, and then let's go back to 2016. Hell, this is the only like state that was a swing state in 2024 that Hillary won. I think that could be wrong. Don't check fact check me on that. Or do it was 2 points. It was close, but Obama consistently won this one by 7 points 2012. Uh, the 14 points or whatever. Sorry, 13 points, and 2008. So it's not close. I think Obama can swing this state back. I think Obama might make this state like super blue again if he were to run for a third term. And I think just like Obama's everlasting riz and influence will make Nevada a leans blue. Out of all these, that's the one I feel like of the swing states of 2024 that I feel the most confident making a leans. The rest of these may be tilts. Actually, yeah. So now we have 232 for the Democrats, two 219 for the Republicans. All right, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 states left to delegate here into a category. I think we have all the leans out of the way. So leans will be close. I think so. Here's what I think. I think the Democrats will win Nevada by probably like 4 points in this hypothetical election. Maybe 4 or 3, because it was 3 in Clinton's favor then. So I think it'll be at least 3 or 4. Probably a lot safer than it felt then. So now we go. Well, maybe there is another leans. I don't know about Michigan. I kind of feel like Michigan might potentially be a leans. I don't know. Uh, Here's what I think. Let's review. I think so. Here's what I think. The key states in this election, I think, will be Arizona. Well, maybe not Arizona. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. I don't expect these to change at all. I think these will be our major swing states for a while in the future. Now let's go back to Wikipedia and read some of the stuff. So here's I want to talk. I think about let's do Arizona right now. So I think some of the most important areas of the state in this election will be like the Tucson area and maybe like parts of the Grand Canyon. So let's go back to okay, that's John Kerry and George Bush. Obama here. This state was won by John McCain in 2008. Sorry, yeah, 2008, and it was by a pretty good margin, 9 points, right? I think. And that was the thing with this. It was a good 9 points here. I don't think that they're. Well, is it closer in this election? 9 points. It's about the same. Yeah, the people who voted for McCain voted for Romney pretty similarly in this election. So it wouldn't really. Yeah, it'd be pretty safely 9 points there. Now we go to 2016. This isn't particularly close for well, it's definitely well, actually I take it back. It's a 3 point difference for Clinton and Trump. I'm shocked. Actually, I did not expect that. I thought Trump would win it by a lot more than like Romney would have. But he didn't. It actually is a lot closer than it would I thought it would have been. So now we go here, and it actually swings blue in 2020. Biden is able to make it swing blue by not a lot. It's very close. He became the first state to win Arizona since Bill Clinton in '96, and the second and only second since Harry Truman in 1948. Wow, that's shocking. So I think the combination of this and the fact that it just swings right back to Trump in this one by a good 8 points, I think this is why we should have Arizona. Oh my gosh. Why we should have Arizona. Oh my gosh. Why is it not like doing? Okay. There you go. Arizona tilts red. I think Arizona tilts red. Right? That's what I think. So now 230, 232. It's really close. Now it's up to these five states that will determine the election, right? Um, I think you can even make this a leans because I think actually this could be a leans. I take it back what I said earlier because it's close. I hate putting it on the same level as Iowa and Florida because I do think it will be closer than both Iowa and Florida, but less close than uh sorry less close than these five swing states right here. So now we go back to beautiful, lovely Wikipedia, my favorite website to be on. Right? And here, we're still live, right? Yeah. Okay. So we go back here and let's take a look at Wisconsin for a second. This one, before I made this video, I kept swinging back and forth on what to think. Where would I put Wisconsin? Because you see here, it's consistently voted blue. This one's 7 points in Obama for 2008. Where would Wisconsin go? Because it's pretty clearly, very clearly. That's 14 points. 14 points in this election of 2008 against McCain. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I hit my mic. I think it's certainly not close at all here. Like, look at how blue this state is. It's pretty clean there. This one, that's 7 points. It's a 7 point closer, or 6.94. It is a lot closer compared to 14. So that's literally halved. And then we go to here. Trump somehow wins it. He turns like 90% of these states blue. Uh, um, sorry. He just completely swings it, and it's by a point. And I feel like this might be a thing that, because what I feel like is that the Democrats for a while now will have been holding on to Wisconsin just barely. I think it'll stay blue, but just barely for like a while longer. I do, because then it goes back to Biden by a point, and then Kamala just loses it again by a point. So I think it might totter back and forth for a while in national elections. But I think that the Democrats will just barely continuously hold on to it in like local levels wise or for Senate or House. So it's going to be a tilt blue. I think it's going to be a tilt blue. But again, it's just tilt. Just a tilt. Just a tiny little tilt blue. So it's not going to be by too much. But Wisconsin will vote blue, I think. I think I can confidently say that. So, because every time I do research on Wisconsin, it just kind of flip-flops. It's like a flip-flop, but it's just really close. I don't know. So then now we've looked at Wisconsin because again it just again flip-flopped. We go back to like every county managed to, and that's the thing. I think the main reason here. Sorry, I just need to say this. The main reason that Wisconsin will be pretty like it'll be won by like at least a point maybe, but the reason it will be won at all by the Democrats is because of Obama. Like I think they would lose this election if they ran like some other candidate maybe. I don't want to say that too confidently though. Because again, Obama's like just charisma and the way that he can get voters he could just drive out voters to run and vote for this specific person is, for him specifically, is just insane. Like, again, Trump does the same thing, but Obama got a bunch of first-time voters out that have consistently probably voted Democrat since. And that's just something crazy because, he also maybe even sometimes has favor of the older people because he has the respect. One interesting thing that I feel like that would be noticed this election is that now that Obama's been out of the limelight for quite a while because he hasn't been president for a while now, is people will look back at his presidency and Obama himself way more fondly than Trump because he's literally just now in office. People are yelling at him or maybe applauding him or however you feel about him. People will always have opinions about him. But people, tend to look back at times maybe where they were more prosperous in life, or maybe not more prosperous, but maybe just generally happy because they were younger with a more like fondness than previously. And they will, be like, actually, yeah, I remember it was a nice time because like 2012 was like so nice. Like that was a calm, chill time and life. I feel like just like the world was a lot less stressful. I feel like, I don't know if that's just me, but probably because I was younger then. Um, uh, and I feel like that leads people to maybe favor Obama a bit more in an election like this, because they're just, like, oh yeah, I remember Obama, he did a pretty good job. I think it'd be cool if I think I feel safe and comfortable casting my ballot for someone who made me feel safe when they were running the country. Because Trump controversy, right there, a new like trend on Twitter every single day is some Trump said some slur, Trump complimented Hitler, Trump did this, Trump did that. But Obama, I feel like he never really saw that. He was like a genuine politician. And I think if you put Mitt Romney in the same situation, it'd be like Mitt Romney, if he was ended up being president, he's like a pretty chill Republican. Like, he knew what he was doing, he knew what he was talking about. He was kind of just a chill guy, I think, unless you watch epic rap battles, him versus Obama. You wouldn't think that. Uh, so I think you could say that for a lot of like political candidates for an election just like 10 or 20 years ago. Like, people look at the 90s with so much fondness. So much like, oh my gosh, the 90s were awesome, man. And you know who was president during most of the 90s? It was Bill Clinton. So people will associate a good time in their life with maybe whoever was in charge at that time, and that would lead them to being like, oh yeah, Bill Clinton, yeah, he was probably good. If that was a good time in my life, that means that surely we had stability with him as a leader. And people can look at that with Obama just maybe at a like more recent perspective. So again, that's my very, very long rant on why Wisconsin would probably be blue. And maybe a couple more, because similar things would be the case for all the rest of these. So now we go to, oh my gosh, what did I do? Presidential election. There we go. Now the same thing for here. What is this? Okay, so, bleh. Excuse me. What am I doing? I forgot. I'm totally blanking. I think now we go on to Michigan, right? Okay, so wait, 242, 230. Let's do Michigan, right? I think. Hmm. Okay, Michigan has been a lot more blue than I think it's like than Wisconsin was. If I'm correct, I think Michigan is just like a lot more comfortably blue. Like, look at this. That is yeah, Michigan weighed in for the more 5% more Democratic than the national average. Look at that. That's Bill Clinton though. But if we go to like it voted blue in Al Gore, and it's still a comfortable 6 points against Bush in 2000, even though Bush won. But again, that was a close election that some people claim wasn't really fair. So then we go to John Kerry. John Kerry, despite losing the election, still comfortably had a 4 point advantage over Bush. And then now we go to Obama versus McCain. That lead shoots up to 17 points. A whole 800,000 votes. People, that is like a landslide. Michigan, this was the highest Democratic victory margin since Lyndon B. Johnson. And so I think this state, even like, again, people, you could maybe argue the opposite of what I was explaining earlier, because like people don't remember Obama as much. But like, if you just look at this, it's kind of hard to see Michigan voting anything but like it's still a good 10 points here against Romney. Romney was a pretty strong candidate against Obama. But you have to think like, I can't see after like a 17-point lead in Obama's favor during that election. It's so much harder to believe that to see Trump winning Michigan against Obama, because I think the Rust Belt states, again, they're some of the most important states in these elections recently, because they have most working class people. And even though the working class is starting to shift towards the right, Obama might bring them right back to the left pretty quickly if, he's promising all these good things with his policies, like, oh, healthcare if you get your hands stuck in a machine or something. Okay, that was like a long time ago, but you know what I mean. So I think it's just impossible to see Michigan voting anything but blue. It'll be close, But I think it might be, out of all these 5 states we have left, it'll probably have the highest Democrat swing out of these 5 left, right? So it'll definitely vote more blue than Wisconsin, and then definitely more blue than the remaining states that we have here, right? So now it's getting close. 257. The Democrats need 270 to win. Same with Republicans, but they are closer. It's 13 points away before we find out who wins. All right? So, Lyle's or Titans in the chat. Hello. Okay, so now we go to Pennsylvania. What's considered the most important state in the entire election of 2024, right? So obviously Pennsylvania, people were saying this would determine the election result, no matter who did what or whatever. This will determine who wins this election. Look at how much red that is. That's a 2-point margin. People were saying this would be the closest state. Literally, I remember people were talking about it is the most toss-up state to ever be a toss-up, like ever. It's so close. And then look, Trump won by a good 2 points. 100,000 votes, pretty much. A bit less than that. And the largest victory for a Republican candidate since 1998. Yeah, it's just, they won 50%. I can't believe this, frankly. The results in Pennsylvania, I think, shocked me the most. Maybe, and in Michigan or Nevada, shocked me the most. Out of all of these here, I think. Because look at how much red is on this map compared to blue. That's something you definitely wouldn't expect to see when people talk about how close this would have been. Yeah, according 90% chance of winning the presidency if whoever wins this state. So I don't think that Pennsylvania would have as significant of a swing in this election. Sorry, by swing I mean like of like a importance, like this will determine the election. But I definitely don't think it's gonna go away. It'll definitely be another swing state this election. And I feel like, well, no matter what, the Democrats just have to win one more state to guarantee them this election, right? They just have to win one more state. And I think Pennsylvania, because let's go back here. Sorry, two points on the last one. This one, 2 points again in Joe Biden's favor. Trump won by 1 point in 2016. Obama won by 5 points. Keep that in mind, because we're talking about Obama v. Trump. He won this one by 10 points. He won by 10 points, all right? So then we go back a little bit more. It doesn't matter. Still blue by John Kerry. Al Gore still held it open. And then I'm going to assume Clinton obviously had it because it's Pennsylvania. So if we look at it, it's consistently voted blue up until Trump came along and he turned it the other way around. So Trump is the only reason that the state has been red at all in like the past like 20, 30 years, I think. I don't remember if it was blue for George H.W. I don't think it was, I think it was blue. But I think bringing Obama, again, back into the equation, because people just look at him with this fondness, it'll be so close. Maybe like, I don't know if it'll be less than a point or more than a point. But again, I hate to be the guy, but I think Pennsylvania will swing back blue. It's the Rust Belt states. I think Obama, with his Riz, will bring Wisconsin back, will bring the Rust Belt states back into the Democrats' grasp. Now, we've already established Pennsylvania gives the Democrats the election, meaning Obama will be elected for a third term in this hypothetical scenario. So, what does this mean? These states are irrelevant, but I want to do them anyway because I do think Pennsylvania, because it's a point in 2016, 2 points flipping in either direction in 2024 and 2020. So it could go anyway. So if you even disagree with this, these states could still have an important matter. So if we were to remove this, I think, let me tell you my last opinion. I think North Carolina will swing Republican. Because I think in even 2020 it swung Republican. So I don't think there was a chance that it wouldn't. Yeah, it's still swing. All the swing states from the last election were blue except for North Carolina. So I don't think there's a chance that it will swing in Obama's favor. Yeah, it was still a good, like, almost 2 points. It was like 1.5. Trump won it then. Even Mitt Romney won it. Um, uh, Actually, Obama did win it against McCain, but it was by 20,000 votes. So again, I can't see it in my brain. Sorry, it'd probably be like a point difference. I just cannot see Obama winning this North Carolina. So that brings us to the last state. Sorry, yeah, the last state, which is Georgia. Georgia is a tough one. I was thinking about how this election might potentially turn out. I was thinking about Georgia for a long time. Georgia was one I kept flipping back and forth on. I'm like, well, it's the South. They might like just follow the trends. And since North Carolina voted red consistently, um, Georgia might follow suit. But we go to 2024. It's a 3 point margin in Trump's favor, which is pretty good. But we go back here. Wait. Oh, wait. We're still in North Carolina. I was so confused. Ugh. I can't do anything. So we go to Georgia. Let's go to. Oh my gosh, I can't do anything. We go here. 2 point margin in Trump's favor. Oh my gosh, that face. I can't get over it sometimes. Um. It's in Trump's favor here. Biden does win it. He pulls out the win by point two, like around point two. Yeah, 0.23 of a margin, which is so freaking close. You don't understand. That's 10,000 votes that separated the two between this whole election. We go to Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. Here, that's 5 points. It immediately goes up to 5 points. I don't know what Clinton did against the state of Georgia, but gosh dang, it like changes so much because Biden again just flips it. I think Biden probably had a bit of like a thing with Trump, or sorry, had kind of a thing because Obama was, uh, he was, people look back at him fondly. People probably looked at Joe Biden kind of a similar way, even if nobody seemed happy about the election. Why were these two people the main contenders for our election, which is understandable. Now we go back to 2012. uh, 8 points in Romney's favor. McCain still won 8 points. Or sorry, 7 points. Wait, no, is that six? Oh my gosh. Yeah, 6 points, pretty much. He did not. Voted. Oh, really? So yeah, it still went red in both elections. And then we go back to Bush. It's just more higher results. I think he didn't win. Yeah, it was Bob Dole, but he did in 1992 win. Yeah, he did. So why was it a tie? And which county was this? Okay, I don't even know. Ignore the flag. Ooh, that's better. Um, we go here. I think I don't know, but trends can happen in every election. So I think again, it doesn't matter whether the Democrats win this election, or sorry, the Democrats win Georgia, or the Republicans win Georgia. Because either way, the Democrats still win, and Obama will win this election. But I'm trying to think. You know, it'll be close no matter what. Frankly, I think because it swung in Joe's favor, and I think with Obama, they just might do it again. It just might happen. Like Trump is a strong candidate and all, but I think it'll be like point one. I think it will be like point one. But I think that Georgia will be won by the Democrats in this election because they have a national point average already higher than Trump in this election. So 246 and 292 are the final results. The Democrats favor. This would cause Barack Obama to go back to the White House for the first time since leaving in 2016 for Trump. Or no, since leaving at the beginning of 2017. Goodness gracious. This is, I think, my final opinion on this map. If you guys want to take a look at this, I think Georgia again will slide blue. It could be a new trend potentially. I'm calling it. Georgia might start swinging more blue. It might be like kind of like Virginia, going more blue in the past or in the recent years. Sorry. Yeah. Uh, I think this is my final take on the election. If anybody, but again, this is just my opinion. So if anyone has their own opinions on who might win, Barack Obama versus Donald J. Trump, sorry, Barack Hussein Obama versus Donald John Trump. Yes, that's his middle name. Uh, let me know. Again, opinion video. I think this is what will happen. They cross the Democrats cross the line of 270 to win. They end up with 292 total needed. Uh, and they do it. They manage to win this election, and it will be probably closer, I think, than I don't know if Biden will win. I think it would be Biden got 51%, Trump got 46% of the national vote. I think it'd be cleaner. I actually think Obama would have a higher vote win percentage. Maybe I think overall in like the states that are very very hard blue will go even harder blue. So California will vote even more Democratic than they did for Biden. They'll vote more for that. But I think the states that are swing or closer to swing will just barely vote a bit more for Biden, and vote more for Obama, and that's how he'll win it essentially, and that's why the national point, that's why the national points will probably be look more inflated for Obama, and that's why it'll look like he had a higher win rate because I don't think Trump would win. But again, opinion video, live stream. I wanted to live stream because I have not live streamed in a while. If you guys enjoyed this, because this was the first time I've tried something like this ever before, and I actually had a lot of fun doing this, just talking about my opinions and stuff. Yeah, just sharing what I think would happen in an alternate timeline like this. If you guys want to see more, let me know. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are watching this live, and even if you're watching the VOD that is up later, I really appreciate it. That is awesome of you guys to be watching my content. Speaking of content, Backrooms videos, the rest of the Backroom series will come out, I think, this month, probably. And I have another series of a horror game that I anticipate on releasing soon, and I think y'all will like it. Yeah. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is fun. Peace. Enjoy your day.